Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Welcome, listeners, back to Pure Zawaj podcast. This is your family-friendly, local, neighborhood married couple, Mr. Adil.
And Mrs. Adil.
I keep forgetting that you're here.
Oh, thanks. I'm that memorable.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, so today we're here. We wanted to talk about what's trending at the moment is this concept about green flags and red flags. A lot of people talk about, oh, this is a red flag, and therefore, keep away from this person, or this is a green flag, and so on and so forth. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Actually, as you said, it's sort of like a hot talking point at the moment in between couples or people who are looking for the right person to spend their life with, and people are highlighting that something that someone says or does is either a red or a green flag. Of course, this is very, very highly subjective to your personal experience and opinions. But yeah, it got the two of us really talking that
what is a red flag to us, and what is a red flag and a green flag for us. And I have to say, my red flags and green flags changed over time. I mean, it's been 20 years. What would I have looked for in a partner 20 years ago would be different to now. Like, for instance, just from the top of your head, what would be your, say, red flag for something like this? Is a no-go for you? Doesn't matter what the other ticks are, as long as this has been crossed, What would that be?
Yeah, I suppose, I mean, I would assume that a couple who are in the talking stages of finding a partner, and one of them senses that the other one is not showing a willingness to compromise. I think that could be a red flag. I think if, especially from a woman's perspective, if she feels that she's tested the waters with something and the gentleman is showing an unwillingness to compromise or perhaps being slightly unreasonable, I think that could be a red flag.
I guess it's like you said, it's subjective as well. Like, for instance, how far or how unreasonable should a person be for this to become a red flag? Like, for instance, I don't know, leave your family. No, that for me is never going to be something that one person would do. And therefore she turns around and says, well, that's a red flag because you're not willing to compromise.
Yeah.
But from his point of view, that's a red line for him.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So I suppose this is the other thing where I suppose just generally as a society, I think we've become less tolerant of each other. It's my way or the highway. And is this another reason why there's a decrease in successful marriages?
Absolutely.
And even after people get married, I think, so if something happens and they pull out the red flag very quickly and therefore use that to say, well, this is a reason for divorce. I don't know. I mean,
I mean, you're quite right. I think people's perceptions and wants, desires, things like that, they're ever changing because they're ever changing with what's going on in society at that moment. So, for example, when we were at the talking stages, over 20 years ago, something might have popped up that we might have been a bit concerned about, but might have thought, well, no, this is not a deal breaker. Whereas for some people, and I think we've both heard about these in our local community, where from the onset there has been an expectation, and we'll take your example, that the girl will say, I would like my own house. I'll live with your family initially, but I would like to have my own house. And the gentleman has said, well, actually, no, that's a red flag for me. That's never going to happen. Or she said, if you're not willing to do that and even put it into the nikah contract, it's a red flag. So I think, yeah, absolutely. It's a huge can of worms, but maybe we should focus more on the green flags. What what would be a green flag?
Before we get to that, I mean, I was just thinking of a story. A friend of mine told me that recently a couple got married, and when they went on their honeymoon, they came back divorced. And the reason was that when they were there, they argued about, because they went to a Muslim country. So they argued about where to go. Was it Burger King or McDonald's? And they disagreed then.
Oh,
I don't know how true this is. But it is true. Apparently it's true. So they came back divorced, saying because they couldn't make a decision between. I'm just laughing.
I'm presuming this was before 7th of October, because it would have been an easy decision after we're boycotting both of those places. But anyway.
yeah. No.
I jest. Even though, yes, I am aware of that particular incident, and it sounds ludicrous, but actually we do know that people are divorcing for a lot less.
Yeah.
So I mean,
not only is it red flags and green flags, but once they get into the nikah, they are very quick to break the nikah. I know maybe that's why. So sometimes we would have to look into ourselves and say what's right and what's wrong. Like, what is? Now we can go on a bit. Obviously, like I said, it's subjective, isn't it? Like, what was my red flags and what was your red flags or green flags, or what would I want from my children? I mean, now that we're older, if somebody was to come and ask for,
I mean, I think if I remember, I mean, it's been ages, Adil. Like, we've been married a long time, but I do remember having a conversation with you about you being the provider and wanting to have what some would call quite a traditional setup in our family and our married life, and you were supportive of that, and I felt comforted by your answers. So that was definitely a green flag for me, because I felt that we had a meeting of the minds and that we were both on the same page. But easily I think where people are not progressing past that first talking point is because somebody has thrown something into the pot and the other person thinks, that's a red flag for me.
That's what I'm saying. Are we quick to jump to that? Really, really quick.
It doesn't have to be a red flag.
Odd socks and you say, "Oh, that's a red flag." I mean, I'm being funny, but it's just like, have we gone?
Or eats a croissant with a fork.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
so green flags.
We will speak about green flags another time. But for now, I think let the listeners put down in the comments.
Let us know.
What is everybody's green flags and red flags? What would they want to see in a partner? And what is it that's like, oh no, this is a red line. I do not want to cross this. And let's see where our listeners are.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to know what people's red lines are. Let's call them. What is a red line?
Yeah. So leave a comment at the bottom, like and share the video. Sorry, the podcast, not the video. And we will speak to you soon.
Yeah, look forward to reading your responses.
Okay then, bye.